Figure what better time to discuss aliens. But I'm in the car and it's dark, so I'm using a lighter. I should have brought something for a light. So occasionally in this video might go totally black because my fingers are gonna burn. Excuse me, but so yeah, I figured it would be a good time because I've mentioned to you this channel, or you guys, all 40 of you now. I've mentioned just like I've had various like experiences, spiritual, whatever you want to call them. I like talking about them. I'm sure, I don't know how much of this will be used as evidence to, like keep my son away from me, that accusing me of being mentally unstable, but whatever. I am who I am, and I think if anything, just go talk to my accusers for like 3 minutes, and you'll see you'll see who's the mentally stable one. You're looking at her, all right? Anyhow, as far as aliens go, like, yeah, I've always believed in aliens. I've always felt connected to the sky, like always, looking up. I've always felt like an alien, growing up. Like in school, elementary school, I would be the one time period of my life where people weren't bullying me or harassing me or making fun of me. I think teachers loved me. I can show you guys some of my teacher notes that I've had, report cards from elementary school. There would be no real reason for me to feel like an outsider, or left out or anything like that. In fact, quite the opposite. Like I've mentioned in one of my videos, if I had my neighborhood friends, if we would go somewhere, they would I want to sit next to Sam. No, I want to sit next. I swear, I know that sounds not chillax right now. I know I sound like a cocky gal, but it's just the truth. I never liked that, I don't like that. But that is how people. The point is this: any alien feelings were, I think, imposed pretty much on myself. It was just how I felt. I've always liked being alone. I just felt different. So I never chalked that up to being an alien or anything, but the term alien, yes, Now, interestingly though, I've never really had alien experiences as far as UFO sightings or anything like that. The closest I got to seeing an actual what I soon later confirmed, oh my god, that really is a considered alien species, is an insectoid. I was doing a meditation, and now meditation for me sometimes is just before I fall asleep in bed, I would just go with how I was feeling. I don't know how to explain my process, maybe some other time. I don't know, I just go places. And this particular night, I started seeing a tall, what you would refer to as an insectoid species, praying mantis looking kind of thing. And I backed out of my meditation. I was like, nah, I'm sorry. I didn't take it further, as I would with spirits that I've worked with. I've mentioned Aries and Lucifer, all kinds of different spirits. But yeah, as far as alien, I was yeah, no, I don't know about that. I was not I just, I wasn't, it wasn't the right time, what I'm saying? I was laying in bed, guys. I didn't, if I had to defeat some other world or something, or battle this insectoid for, humanity's sake, it wasn't gonna happen, But, the other, I don't know if these could be considered alien experiences. Sorry, it's my hand. Here, let's light a cigarette. Maybe that'll give some light. I don't know if these would be considered alien experiences, but one of them, I would love to get some kind of explanation as to what the hell this was, okay, that happened to me. But it was 2017. It was April 2017. And there was a lot of just weird stuff going on in that month, okay, paranormal and spiritual stuff. Okay, this particular night, there was already like just weird stuff happening, especially with electronics. And mind you, I've mentioned my son is autistic. So he, yeah, great. That's the view you guys, whatever. That was not a flattering view. I saw that. So he was 2 at the time in 2017. That's when his autism, it was challenging, if he, for instance, basically like I was having just weird stuff happen with electronics all day. Just one of those kind, that happens sometimes, right? I think it does. At least it does for me. It happens to other people. Shut up. But, so he wanted to watch, it was Trolls, I believe. Was it Trolls? I think it was. And, if you know anything about kids with autism, sometimes they're very specific, in like the things they want to watch or like the things they're like kind of obsessed with, their comfort thing at the moment, period. So he was getting like away, like that. I was trying to avoid that whole scenario. And I'm like, okay. And I was actually proud of myself, right? I'm like battling whatever weird, stupid thing that normally wouldn't happened. I defeated it, right? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna let this and I hurdle after hurdle, I conquered, and just eventually, like, something happened to where I'm like, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna play it on the laptop for him, and I did, right? And it starts playing, and out of nowhere, the screen goes like, the best way I can describe, okay, the screen goes like kind of whitish, like as if like broken. And in the upper right, well, not the upper right, just the right side of the computer, it looked like, the best way I can describe it is almost like a film negative, like on the end of the right hand side of the laptop, because the laptop, it started like glitchy, and it went out white, it whited out, and then this negative film looking strip came across the right hand side. But what appeared were like, best I could describe as hieroglyphics, or what resembled, some kind of like etching like that, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I guess, the next thing I know, guys, I was frozen in place. Like, it felt like, okay, imagine if your stomach was like a gong or a drum, okay? A gong would probably be a better representation, because it's like, imagine getting hit your stomach is a gong, you get hit, and like, whoom, that vibration or that reverb kind of feeling. But I was frozen in place, guys. I could not move my body, okay? And I said, whoa, like I firmly, I said, what the fuck? I said, no. I said, I don't know. No, you do not have my permission to do that. And as soon as I said that, it's, I was like, I can move again. And, you guys, how the hell can I word that in a Google search? I've tried, I don't know. And then I always had kind of regrets. I'm like, oh my God, was that like the mothership trying to take me home? I'm like, no, like, come back. Can we go back to the past and can we rekindle that moment? I want to live it again differently. But no, I'm pretty sure, it's not like I didn't do anything to antagonize or ask for this, And like I said, horrible, like very, very frustratingly weird shit going on with electronics that whole day, on top of other weird experiences I was having and seeing, okay? Yeah, something was crazy. Like that whole month, April of 2017 was nuts with experiences. Joe can call me crazy now, but he was part of some of them, okay? So yeah, something about this particular day, it might have been actually, if I can pinpoint the actual date, it was either April 19th, 20th, or 21st, because I remember it being around, if not on the day of my dad's, death anniversary, which is April 18th. So why did I give those dates just now? I think just April 20th, just like it's embedded in that just came out naturally. subconsciously. So yeah, it was like the 17th, 18th, or 19th, something like that, April of 2017. If anybody can help direct me on what the hell that could have been, I would love to know. I don't know. I don't know if that was alien, human, you know, like some weird I don't know. But I would love to just get an answer, like a direction of what to even call that. And now the next or last, like, I don't know if we can call it again, like alien experience that I had was back in 2000, it was 2007, I believe. Let's see for sure. 2000, yeah, I think it would be 2007. Yeah, I was living in an apartment with my boyfriend at the time, and when we moved in, I got, like, it was, the place was haunted, okay? Like, legitimately, it really, really was. Trust me, it was. I could get into that, maybe, and not a good feeling haunted, okay? Like, because it... all right, well, I'll explain what we saw first. Well, we saw, there's many experiences, but alien-like. So, we're watching I Love New York, okay? It was like season, I don't know if it was, it might have been like the second season, but the episode was, now mind you guys, okay, just don't judge, because I was addicted to Oxycontin at the time, okay? But none of, this wasn't a drug, these were not blamed on drugs, okay? Hang on. So we're both sitting there watching I Love New York, and it was like an episode where they were doing a seance or something like that, right? You can go fact check this. There's like some episode like that. And okay, so, you know, it's silent because Chris wasn't an annoying media viewer, co-viewer. You know, we could actually sit and watch things without somebody talking. So that was nice, you know. Props to you, Chris, for that. Rest in peace. But yeah. And next thing I know, okay, now mind you, we're on the second floor, okay? I see this like orange glowing, like, when, I swear, the best way I could describe it is like, imagine like a Doritos bag, you know, original Doritos, like the reddish bag, like being dropped, an empty one, being dropped from a high place and kind of like falling like that. But picture the bag being like an orange glow, okay? So, and I even thought that, you know, it's so funny how the human mind like operates in like stressful situations. Like, guys, there's like fight or flight. That's giving us too much credit, I feel, because some of the dumb shit I've thought of in like serious situations. I'm like, in what world would I ever consider that theory first, Sam? Like, really? But I'm like, how did a Doritos bag get up here? Like, I really thought it was like a chip bag or something, you know, like trash. But as soon as I got my attention, right, it like stopped and just shot up. But it was like doing this, like trying to get my attention. And then as soon as I looked, it froze and phew. Now my eyes, like Chris and I, like we just looked at each other, okay? We're like, did you see that? But we had like we had tears in our eyes, and I don't know if there was like terror or just confusion. Like, I don't know what I would describe the emotion as, but emotional. And we both, you know, like, yeah, we looked right at each other as soon as it shot up, you know, oh my God, did you see that? And yeah, tears in our eyes. I don't know what that was. And like I said, I don't know what to chalk that up to as far as like what emotion. I don't know if it was fear. I think a little bit. And that apartment is where I first started experiencing sleep paralysis. Yeah, I've experienced sleep paralysis, guys, and it is as terrifying as they say. It really is. But yeah, that apartment is where I first started experiencing it. And I don't know if sleep paralysis would be chalked up to that. I would say that's like an interdimensional thing. So possibly alien, possibly, I can theorize, but I would say one time I'm pretty sure I saw what you could describe as looking like the Grim Reaper. But that could be, you know, that could be a human group dressed in such similar fashion, you know. But certainly there's like an interdimensional vibe going on there with sleep paralysis. But yeah, it is terrifying, guys. And the interesting thing about sleep paralysis is actually that is kind of what started getting me kind of more connected to the spirit of Jesus, because at this point, like, okay, so I started experiencing sleep paralysis in 2007, and just every so often it just followed me, you know, no matter where I lived or what was going on. Now this might have been 2017 or 18. I think it might have been like 2018. Yeah, or maybe even 19, I had a sleep paralysis experience. Now, I was already into spirituality or whatever you want to call it, but I certainly wasn't like anywhere near the Christian. I didn't start researching Christianity or anything like that yet, you know. Like I said, I was always open to the like idea of the spirit of Jesus, but I never like prayed or anything like that to Jesus, okay? And just for some reason, I just felt led to, I just screamed, because, you know, anyone who experiences sleep paralysis, you know, you scream, but you don't. So I felt something told, oh man, is the light out? Damn it, because I need that to light my cigs. Oh man, damn it. I have to film in here because this is the only place where I can, whatever. The car is the only option right now, guys. But anyhow, yeah, I just felt led to, I just said Jesus. I was like, or please Jesus or Jesus, and like boom, I was dropped, because I would also get levitated sometimes, okay? Not all the time, but sometimes. This particular time I did. Now, some point in the future, you know, after this experience, I actually read about a guy who was like, you know, he was like super science atheist, worked for NASA or something to that effect kind of guy, and he did a whole thing, like he changed, like he said pretty much the same thing, like, yeah, like there's a connection between having Jesus and sleep paralysis, being a defender or protector of you during sleep paralysis, okay? And yeah, for me to just feel led to say that, okay, it was so out of character for me at that time. Now, and I can tell you though, it starts to become it won't save you every time, you know, like first of all, you got to really believe it, I guess, you know, and mean it. But also, I think it just loses its power the more you know, if you just lean on that when it's happening. Sleep paralysis, I don't know. For sure there is like science-wise, I for sure, like if you fall asleep on your arm or something, like, cause me, I always lean, like, I like to use my hands as like a pillow almost. So there's been times where I'm like, I can feel circulation getting cut off, and I'm like, I don't know, I could see, like, I feel like I get in that, like, I could see where that could be a starting point or part of explaining sleep paralysis. But there certainly is a otherworldly phenomena explanation attached to it, absolutely. And people can argue about it or not, okay? There is. One thing I've noticed that's always a theme is, like, you know, a lot of people have a fan always running in there, like, no matter what time of year it is. I would notice it having a warped sound before I would start to get that, oh, fuck, this is happening, isn't it? You know, like that. Anybody who has sleep paralysis knows, where you're like, shit, no, say it ain't so. Yeah, the fan would go like, womp, womp. It would have like this distorted, warped sound, you know? And it's like, I don't know if that's how I was hearing it or if that's really what was happening, you know? Like, there's like like I said, an interdimensional kind of vibe, or, you know, something that would explain that, you know. But yeah, I've seen the tall figure, yeah, all the typical stuff you hear about sleep paralysis. And like I said, I've seen what, you know, in retrospect, I'm like, oh shit, was that the Grim Reaper? You know, a robed thing. You know, just go, you guys know what the cartoon of the Grim Reaper looks like. But, yeah, I don't know if that would be an alien experience or not. But yeah, as far as like, you know, now I'm talking like actual physical experiences, okay? And trust me, guys, I'm like I was always one of those people that's like, I wanted to see like a UFO or something, you know, like I've seen stuff in the sky that's, you know, I just felt drawn to certain stars and certain things at times. I could tell you about the Argonauts. They don't really tie. That'll be different. It's not really an alien experience. It has actually. I'll talk about that some other time. Yeah, I've never actually though. Like, I've just felt drawn to the whole alien thing. You know, like yes, I've heard of the Pleiadians. I did my whole starseed birth chart. I told you Lyrans. I do believe that I've, you know, higher dimensional beings as spirit guides or something. Yeah, for sure. But I couldn't tell you like that I ever, you know, like I didn't know I wasn't like, yes, I'm connecting with this race right now, the Arcturians, you know, or anything like that. No. Like I've mentioned in one video, I did hear the name Ashtar. If you know anything, you'll look up the name Ashtar. It's associated with the Galactic Federation of Light. But guys, you know, that kind of stuff, like transmissions, like that could just be like from humans, quite frankly, okay? And it's not a crazy thing because the government admits that. They won't admit that they're saying I'm Ashtar, you know? But, yeah, it was weird. It was when I was into angel numbers and, like, obsessively into angel numbers. And it was 12:12 in the morning. I happened to look at the clock and it was 12:12. And I went to write it down because I was trying to find like, a pattern in all these numbers. And literally I just heard, in my mind, I heard Ashtar. And I'm like, Ashtar? Like, what the fuck is Ashtar? Is that a thing? You know, I was curious, so I Googled it. And, you know, yeah, that's how I learned of the Galactic Federation of Light. I'm not saying they're necessarily aliens. Like I said, I don't know. But, you know, that is pretty damn strange. So, I mean, one way or another, I picked up somebody or something wanted me to hear that name. You know, but yeah, I've never had like actual alien experiences, and I know everybody thinks I'm an alien or something. I don't know. I told you I've had my starseed birth chart done, which is really interesting. I'm not Pleiadian. I don't know. I don't dislike the Pleiadians or anything. It's just like, I just feel like they get a lot of credit for things, or, you know, it's just the association. There's a lot, I don't know. I feel like, okay, my starseed birth chart said you know, here is my root, my galactic root, okay, was Lyra, all right? Then I went to Orion, then I went to Hyades, or Hyades, however you want to pronounce it, which is in the constellation of Taurus, the bull's eye, basically. Aldebaran is in that vicinity. And then Earth, okay? So, yeah, if you guys are interested in aliens, since, you know, they're talking all this talk of now, you know, killer aliens, I think it was the compass. I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested. A mini birth chart, like just to get a little bit of info on yourself. It was like $10 or something like that. I'll just put the link in the description if you are curious about the starseed origins. you know, you know, it's fun. Like, you don't have to, guys, you know how I feel about the humanity, like, just, whatever. It's not that I think I'm an alien and everyone else around me isn't, per se. I just think that there's, like humans, there's different bloodlines, okay? That's why we have the sociological setup of, that we have going on in our human world, is because we learned it from, you know, generations of aliens, if you want to call them, you know, if you want to say that. But yeah, like, I don't think there's anything that bizarre about stating that, you know. But yeah, I don't consider myself an alien in that I don't deny that I wasn't born on, like, Earth or anything. Unless y'all know more about that than I do. If anything, I feel like I'm like a Plum Island, like, escapee, and you guys just don't, everybody's being so nice and saying I'm an alien, and it's like, no, she actually, that's why she's being gang stalked, is because she escaped from Plum Island, you know? But I'll link that in the description. It's pretty, I say, you know, for $10 or something, I would highly recommend you get it done.